In this video we want to talk about individual and group decision making. The choice between individual and group approaches revolves around the following issues. First of all, the time allowed to take the decision. If a quick decision is required, perhaps an individual is better at making that decision. It's a very fast response. If the time is of the essence, if time is an important factor, perhaps group decision making is not appropriate. So groups take longer to make decisions, they have discussions, they may have meetings, and it may take longer for groups to come back with a decision. So the time allowed to take the decision is an important determinant of whether individual or group decision making is appropriate. Individual decisions are cheaper than group decisions. Ask an individual to make the decision, that's normally a cheap and quick way of getting the decision made. Having groups may be more complex, it may require time, the groups may have to be organized, facilities provided for the group in which they make the decision. So groups tend to be more complex to deal with and perhaps more expensive as well. However, complex problems may benefit from group consideration. So it depends also on the type of the decision being made. If it's a straightforward decision, or if the issues are not very sophisticated or complex, individuals may be able to make those decisions. But if the decision revolves around some complex set of considerations, then it may require a group who can look at the problem from different perspectives and bring different suggestions for consideration, and so groups may be better, may be more comprehensive in analyzing more sophisticated problems. So let's distinguish groups and individuals in a little more detail. Let's look at the advantages and disadvantages of each. For a start, groups may possess more knowledge and facts than individuals and are therefore capable of making better decisions. Well, there's greater variety of experiences within the group. There may be different training and different experiences commercially and in terms of the decision that's been made. They may have more experience in working in that area. So there is a big advantage in having the group. However, the disadvantage is that the group decision-making process will take longer compared to the individual decisions. So it depends on whether time is a critical factor. Does the organization have the time at its disposal, the time available for the groups to make decisions? Or should it go down the individual decision maker, have perhaps an experienced manager who makes the decision in the business? Groups often exhibit better judgment when confronted with complex problems. As I said, groups may look at the situation from different angles and may come up with different suggestions, and they may debate it amongst themselves as to whether certain courses of action would be useful, and they may criticize each other. They may look at suggestions and rule them out, and may also look at the implications of certain suggestions. So it's a much more sophisticated piece of analysis of the issue, and a better outcome may result as a consequence. The dynamics of group interactions may lead to bad decisions caused by compromise, following the leader, or indeed even intimidation. So although we have a group situation, there may also be problems because the groups may try to facilitate each other's positions and compromise on good ideas, and just so everyone gets gets a say and everyone feels important and involved. Or it may be a very strong charismatic leader emerges within the group who leads the group in a particular direction and persuades them to make a certain decision. Well, that charismatic leader may not be right in the direction that he or she has chosen. Or of course it could be just intimidation, that certain members of the group feel embarrassed or shy or just intimidated by other members of the group. So they don't want to embarrass themselves or perhaps be laughed at by making certain suggestions. However, those suggestions are in fact the true answers, but they don't emerge. Group decision making leads to greater involvement in the project. When groups are involved in making the decisions, they tend to be more committed towards the success of the project. So groups tend to work towards developing the project and aiming to implement the project in a successful way. As I said earlier, the downside with the group is that strong personalities, the charismatic leader, as I said, within the group may lead to bad decisions. It's very similar to the previous disadvantage. Group decision making can inspire members of the group to be highly involved. So certain members of the group may become really committed towards the project because they feel that their contribution was recognized and they can see the benefits of the project. So they become very committed and very motivated as a consequence. On the other hand, if there's an overemphasis on group decisions, then this may devalue the role of the manager. The manager may feel sidetracked. The manager in the past would have made the decision, but now it's given to a group, perhaps a group of employees. So the manager feels bypassed by the whole exercise, and the manager may be demotivated as a consequence. So these are some of the issues that need to be considered when thinking about individual decision making or group decision making. And so this is a short video, and that's all we're going to deal with in this situation. So let's leave it at that and say thank you for watching.